consumer behavior. Okay. And this is, thank you so much. Good night. Goodbye. Ajahn Miller, okay, so the subject for this evening, for 3 hours, less than 3 hours, in fact, is consumer behavior. And I have been working on this slide last night up to 2 o'clock, because that I really don't know what kind of things that you would like to know. Because this subject is such a very, very big subject, and I have just few hours. So I don't know what should I capture. So this is the slide now. I have to make decision. So finally, I made up my mind that I made up my mind that this will be the contents that I will share with you. So the objective for today is I would like you to understand to some limit of consumer behavior in terms of consumer behavior in marketing discipline, and be able to apply some knowledge to some certain circumstances, because that we have just so not so many. I long time ago, I taught this subject, and I found that this subject is very, very tough subject, because that it has a lot of theories and a lot of it's like the psychological dimensions that is hard to explain. But it is so important, because that if you want to do some kind of marketing strategy, we need to understand this consumer behavior. So what is consumer behavior? Okay. Well, I think that it is the why subject. Why subject? Because that we always have question, why? Why you buy this product? Why not this product? What make you buy? Okay. How much you buy? Those kind of behavior, those kind of things. And we want to know, as the strategist, we want to know what factors influence those people to buy. What kind of, what factors, what variables, if we know, we can well, design the factors. And then if we can design the factor, then it can influence the people's attitude. And most likely, they will buy in the future. So this is the idea. So finally, I come up with the idea that I will get into some kind of trying to answer the why subject. So try to understand consumers. So let me ask you first, in this class, how many of you studied consumer behavior before when you studied undergraduate? That's very good. So you can help me, yeah. You can help me answer some questions. Okay. And for the rest, you never studied, you never touched anything about psychology, consumer behavior. No, not at all. So it means that you were not from business administration, but different areas, right? Okay. Never studied. Okay. So, well, that's all right. This is the reason that why we have to study this subject. Okay. Okay. Let's start with this. If you want to sell this cosmetic product to women, we need to understand them. Understand what? What questions that we have to answer? Anyone? What questions that we need to answer before that we actually sell the products to them? For those of you that used to, yeah, you can try. Yes, please.
I wonder what is the beauty routine of the women in general in the country? The beauty routine?
You need to understand what? I'm sorry. Please say it again.
The beauty routine.
The beauty within.
Routine. Everyone has a different accent.
You go too deep. Maybe too deep. I think first, if I will sell my products, okay, beauty products. Okay. First thing, very, very basic. I want to know, sell to who? Okay, of course women. But women, they're not the same. Right? Women are not the same. So what women? Okay. How old are they? Okay, the age group, their interest. Maybe I want to know more about their what? Their lifestyle. Okay. Maybe I want to know more about what kind of things that they want to make their lives values in whatever situation, in work, in family, with friends, or with their own spouses. So there are a lot of questions that I need to get the answers. Why? Because if I don't know them real well, how can I set up the message and put the message, the right message, to come across and hit their inner feelings, right? And motivate them. So the word motivation, influencing, okay? So those are keywords in consumer behavior. Who are they? What makes them buy? What makes them buy? What factors impact upon them? What motivates them to buy? Why they buy? Okay? Because there are a lot of products, competitors' products in the market. So how can I compete? Okay? The way that I can compete is I have to make sure that I really, really know my target customers and identify their needs and their wants, their lifestyles better than some other competitors. So this is the way that consumer behavior has big role, okay? Has big roles in marketing. So for example, like this is meaning. In your ideas, in your perception or attitudes toward this car, who could be the buyers? Buyers of this car must be different from buyers who buy Volvo or Mercedes-Benz or Toyota or Nissan or some other brands, right? So there must be some kind of specific target. So, and if we can locate them and beyond the location and then know who they are, but we have to know what about them. What about them? So that we can design our message, the advertising, the campaign, or product positioning, blah blah blah, in terms of marketing strategy to come across them and arouse them, okay, stimulate them. So, in your perception, who could be the person that interested into this? Yes.
Someone young who lives in a city.
Someone young, okay, young, who lives in the city.
And upper class work.
Okay, and has some kind of good job, okay, right. Is it expensive car? Yes, in Thailand because that they imported and they have to pay tax. Okay, so a small car like this probably, I don't know, 3 million, about 3 million, okay, and beyond. Okay. And so what you say is correct. It's correct. What's your name?
When?
Gwen. Okay. Where you from, Gwen? France. I had some kind of feelings that you must come from France for some reason. Yes, and yeah, I'm correct. Yes, I'm correct because I think I met a number of French students in undergraduate, girls, some guys, some girls, and some girls that they're small, okay, they're small, and then with the kind of accent and speak, yes, but they're very good. Okay, so when you say that, well, high income, right? Young, high income, and they work, probably has some kind of management position, right? Management position, probably manager. How old are they? More than 25. Okay, most likely more than 25. Single or married?
Single.
Single. Why single?
Only 2 seats.
Because it's small car. Okay, small car. Okay, so you just is this person has a lot of friends? We don't know, but most likely they have their own kind of social group, right? And is it esteem needs that they want to fulfill by buying this car? Yes. Someone say yes, and someone tend to disagree. Why you say that this car can fulfill esteem needs?
It is not only just about the car, but it's about the brands. It's about the brand loyalty and the brand ambition. So if they have this kind of brand in their own, outputting, it's like they have some kind of the evidence in their society.
Very good. Very good. So because that, you see that this car, brand Mini has been in the market for a long, long time. It's British car, right? And so this Mini has very strong position. It's already established in the market. And the way that they advertise Mini, and the way that people, they have fans, okay? Fans of Mini, advocate to Mini. So this kind of things is made that this car stand different from the other cars. It has their own positioning in the mindset of consumer. And it has some kind of influence. So this kind of thing, the positioning of the car, the brand name, the reputation of the brand, has some kind of influence upon consumers, the target customers. Okay. So some of you say that you never studied this, but for this hierarchy of needs, have you? Yeah. Please let me know. So if you all know about this, so I can move to something else. But this is important. We say that in marketing, without needs, we don't need to do marketing. Is it true? Between needs and wants, there's some difference. And marketer create what? Needs or wants?
Wants.
Wants, right? Marketer create wants. Why? Because needs must be there. Needs are there. The physiological needs, safety needs, belonging needs, esteem needs, and self-actualization needs. They are there, but marketers try to find opportunity to pull the needs and make it becomes wants. Understand? So this is a difference between needs and wants. So, for example, when I say that, oh God, I'm so hungry, I need food. That, I mean, physiological need. But at the same time, McDonald's came in, they create brand, they make a very convenience, fast food, good price, fair price. So when I say, okay, I'm so hungry, I want to eat McDonald's, hamburger McDonald's. So marketer create wants. Marketer creates brand choice. Okay, brand choice. So we can choose, and then our needs and wants can be fulfilled. Okay, through marketing strategies, product, price, place, promotions. Okay, all these marketing strategies, marketing mix. Okay, so physiological needs, safety needs. Safety needs. Volvo focus on safety needs. Okay, and some many products. Safety card, your key, your airbag in the car, or blah blah blah. That guarantee the safety need. Abraham Maslow, the founder of this model, said that you have to fulfill the first need first, and then after you satisfied, then you can come up with the second, the third, and then and so on. So safety needs, belonging needs. We mentioned about the need that you mentioned, esteem needs. Esteem needs is, well, on top of belonging needs. Belonging needs is what? Needs that you want to be associated with someone, that you want friends. You want to belong to your group. Okay, you don't want to be alone, because we are living in society, so we just cannot stay alone for too long. We need friends. Lot of products, services that comes into this, fulfill these belonging needs. Give me some example before I move on. Yes, give me some example. What products or service that could satisfy these belonging needs?
Line.
Okay, very good. What else?
Facebook.
Facebook. So you're talking about social network and all kind of things. Okay.
Nightclubs.
What else?
Nightclubs.
Okay, Microsoft Office. Okay. Some kind of products or services that you feel that because you use this, and then you get some kind of social acceptance, and then there must be some other groups that use the same products, so you belong to that group.
Luxury stuffs.
Maybe clubhouse, maybe sport club, maybe some certain association that you becomes the member. So that's where you do feel that you have friends and have connection. So that's the kind of belonging need. Okay. If you don't understand, just raise your hand, okay? And then I can just stop and then explain it again. On top of this is SD. We talk about mini, and you mentioned that mini can fulfill esteem needs. So esteem needs, this is where the luxury brands comes in. We are for what we have. Some professors mentioned this. We are for what we have. So, well, because we live in the world of, marketing, branding, and then we live in society. And branding and marketing has a lot of influences upon us. Okay? The world of marketing these days, the world of branding these days. So esteem needs, when you receive all the things that to fulfill your belonging needs, the next step that you want someone to respect you, someone to respect, someone to give you some kind of wow, that you are somebody. I am somebody. So many products, if you think of the luxury brands, luxury products, get into this, including services. Some hospital, okay, hospital, private hospital, some private hospital in Bangkok, you mention the name, it's wow. And you must have some kind of position to go to that hospital or get the very good treatment. So those kind of things, esteem needs. So products like clothes, accessories, name card, okay, name card. Why I say name card? Name card can play these two things. Name card, business card. Business card can fulfill this belonging needs as well. And then at the same time, your position. So if you are in the position that your name card, when you present your name card to others, and then people receive your name card and look at your companies and your position in the company. So business card is means to an end also to make you fulfill, including cars, okay, some certain brand names car, okay, like what, like Mercedes-Benz, BMW, Mini, Rolls-Royce, Ferrari, something like that. So that's esteem. So it's go up. And then when we move to this, on top of this is self-actualization needs. Self-actualization needs means the needs that you want to show off yourself, that you are yourself, is a true need. It's you. Okay. So this self-actualization needs. Give me some examples. Give me some examples.
Tourism.
I'm sorry?
Tourism. Traveling.
Tourism.
Traveling.
What kind of tourism?
Actually, I used to travel to find myself by traveling as a backpacker.
Backpacker, okay. Fit, you mean fit. Free, independence, tourism, something like that, right? Free, independence, tourism,
FIT.
fit. Yes, could be, yes. Group of fit tourists is becoming larger and larger. Okay. Fit tourism, yes. What else? Yes. Artists. Yeah, right. So, well, you're very busy working day in, day out, and then, when you have holidays, maybe you just want to, just get some kind of, go out, and then, I have friends that she's a very good doctor, in very high position. And then when she wants to stay away from her work, she draw, and her painting is very, very nice. And she has some kind of selling for donation as well. So this is something that we do when we try to find ways to help us. Fitness could be, yes, spa, boutique hotel, okay, out there, okay, in the mountain or somewhere. How about big bike? Is it?
Holidays.
Could be, yes, could be. Big bike. Like you want to just get on and then just go free, go crazy, then just drive wherever you then want to do. So that could be, yes. So this is self-actualization needs. Now, let's get back to this black box model, this black box. But by the way, before we get into black box, let me ask you this, I could not remember. Last time we met, did I give you the hierarchy of effects? The stairs, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? No? Like 8 steps, about 8 steps of stairs? No? Okay. So the hierarchy of needs. I think that it is quite important. Let's get on this first and then we come up to the black box. Okay, so draw the steps, the stairs, okay? This is the last, well, the first step is unawareness. You don't know the product, okay? You don't know the product at all. Unawareness. In marketing and consumer behavior, this term is important. Awareness. Awareness means you know the product. You start to know the product. Someone tell you about the product. You have heard something like the ad about the product, advertising, or you receive the brochure. Okay, or someone tell you, your friends, your relatives tell you about this brand, this product. Aware, okay, awareness. And from awareness, move up to attention. Attention, please. So what does attention mean? Attention, please. Attention is below interest. You have to get attention first before that you move into this interest. Okay? So, and because that you get some kind of interest, so what is attention? Before I move on too fast. Attention. In marketing, marketers send some stimuli, something that stimulate people to stop and take a look. Take a look and then walk toward and look at this and get the, well, how much is it? And then, well, something like this is attention. Attention when you stop from your normal behavior, that you are going to do something, and then you stop, and then you turn around and take a look, or listen to the music, or listen to the announcement. That's attention. Okay? So attention can come in terms of big size, or the sound, the noise, the music. Okay? Or the big posters, very colorful poster, or something that make you take a look. Okay? So this is attention. And when you get into attention, you start, hopefully that you start to get interest. And when you start to get some interest, it makes you want to know more about these products or services. So we can have some kind of information, and you get some information. And then you have more knowledge about the products. Okay? But you don't buy it yet. Just have knowledge of the product. Okay? Interest, and get more information. How much is it? If I want it, where I buy it? Okay, is how many sizes you have? So those kind of things. Okay, what is the country of origin that makes this? Okay, so this kind of questions, and then, well, once that you get into this, like is important. I like this brand. I like this brand. Like is the feelings. Like is emotion. Already, this is emotion. But they don't buy it yet. Say, I like it. Okay, I like you. Okay, but okay. Some people stop at like. So the jobs of marketers, the jobs of sellers, supposed to convince them more, and then give them some kind of preference. Preference with I like this brand much better than another brand. This is preference. So, lot of marketing strategies. Take a look at this. Okay, all the steps is all the marketing strategies that you have to design your strategies. Okay, and well, push people up the stairs. Okay, but then they don't buy it yet. Say, okay, I like this brand better than this brand. So what? Okay, so next step is you have to make them give some kind of conviction, commitment to buy. Conviction, what is conviction? Conviction is some kind of commitment. They have some kind of strong intention to buy, but they don't buy it yet. Oh, I like this very, very much. I like this very much. And they don't buy it. So, as a marketing manager, what you will do? What strategies? What strategies that you will do to make people just buy it? Cross sales. What strategies that you see in the situation in market? When people want to buy house, buy cars, or buy clothes, or buy whatever that you want to buy. You see the situation, how many steps, and they don't buy it. So what strategies? How you cross sales, okay? How you cross sell? Maybe you have to give them the offer that they cannot refuse. For example, say this, and then use this strategy a lot. If you make decision to buy it within today, or 3 days, or this week, we will give you big discount, special discount. Okay. Or if you make decision within blah blah blah, 1 or 2 days, you will receive some kind of longer term guarantee. This is very special offer to special customers like you. But they talk about this to everyone. Okay? So everyone they special customers because they want to close sales. And after this conviction with the strategies, okay, the technique that salespeople will push it, so they buy it. Buy. Let's see how many steps. Okay, from unawareness to buy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, and this is called hierarchy of effect. So when we study consumer behavior, I think that we need to know something inside the consumers. This is we call the readiness state. The readiness stage to buy. Maybe your customer is just only this. Okay. Or maybe that's only awareness. But they don't move. They don't move on. They just, oh, okay, I know. But they're not interested. So we will get into some well, very, very interesting theory, okay, to understand much better about the black box model. Okay. Let me go into this. So this is the SR theory. Okay. For those of you who studied before, this is SR theory. Stimulus, black box, or psychological set, and then the response. Response is what? What is the response? Response is this. Okay, move on. So see that this is the input. The input, process, and output. Of course, that output, we want people to choose our product. Product choice, brand choice, dealer choice, purchase timing. We want to be able to, well, to forecast when they're going to buy, how much, okay, purchase amount, so we can prepare our stocks. Okay. So this kind of, this is the outcome. The outcome we call the overt behavior. It's overt because we see people make decisions. They choose, they pay. Once people pay the money for the products or services, that's the overt behavior because we see. But something that we don't see is this. In the middle right here, this is the black box. The black box, you see that they are all something we don't see. But we have to find way to observe the people. Whether or not they have good attitude toward us, or good perception, or did they learn something? Learning, motivation. Do they ask? Do they interest? They show some interest. Okay, they ask questions, or they just turn away and then they walk out. So there are things that we have to observe. And this is where the consumer research gets into the big role. We try to investigate this, the inner, inside the mind of consumers. Because we want to forecast this. We want to forecast the outcome, the behavior. And for marketers, this is it. If we can give some kind of right input or right stimuli, you understand the word stimuli, right? So if we can be able to design the right stimuli, the right marketing stimuli, which is marketing mix product with good design, price, good price, bad price, place, channel of distribution, marketing channel, and promotions. At least 4 things. We call this is marketing stimuli. This is the job of business people, okay? Marketers, brand managers, that they have to identify and get the good balance of stimuli, the marketing mix stimuli. But not just that. There's something else here we call non-marketing stimuli. Non-marketing stimuli that could influence and also, well, have some impact upon this black box, the psychological set. Okay? each person, individual, you have this. You have something that we call this, the big word we call latent construct. Latent construct, L-A-T-E-N-T, latent construct. And each one is something that we don't see, but we know must be there. Okay, if we take time to ask people, to observe people, we will see how they react before that they make choice, before that they purchase. So you see that the steps, if we take a look at the hierarchy of ethics, you see the reaction of people. When we go from step by step, think of yourself when you like something. When you like something, what did you do? When you like and preference is different degree. When you like something, start from like, okay? Attention, you understand. Interest, you understand. Interest, how you show your interest. Okay, let me start like this. When you're interested to buy, you have 2 mobile phones, right? Why you have 2?
It's for business phone and my own.
And then personal phone, so different numbers. Yes, okay. So she has her own reasons or motives, okay, for business and personal things. So, and this is the same brand? Yes. What brand? Apple. Why you buy Apple?
Because I usually use the iOS system, and I'm familiar with AI port, iPad, and also the iPhone. I have many devices from Apple Store.
A very sophisticated answer. Yeah. Well, but the word that I catch is a big word in marketing. It's familiarity. Familiarity. Products, brand products, supposed to make people feel close to familiarity. If you can make it, it means that you can have connection with brand, by brand, through brand. Okay. So I'm teaching brand management. So a good brand is supposed to have good relationship with customers. So, and you use the word. I don't know much about your things about that. You used to iOS because of these devices, this and that. That's rational. You try to rational yourself. But if you ask me, I said because I don't trust made in China product. Okay, or I don't trust made in Korea product. So it could be something like that. But it is from my perception. People could have different perception, right? And this is something that we try to understand. This is why in marketing we have the word segmentation. Otherwise we don't need to do segmentation. We don't need to do subgroup, identifying target group. Because we want to locate who have the common interest, who have the same common characteristics, same interests, same motives. Okay, and well, put them together. And then you position your product and put into that. This is positioning. So STP, you study STP before, right? Segmentation, targeting, and positioning. You cannot do positioning without knowing your target. Okay, so this is it. This is our black box. But now the black box open up. And believe me, this is very, very difficult. To me, it's difficult because if you know very, for example, like this word, only one word, you can spend your life studied, doing research about attitude alone. and just stay in the jungle of literature, in the jungle, and could not come out. Okay, because it's too much in attitude. Why? Why attitude is such a big latent construct in the mind of consumers? Because the theory say that attitude, if you have strong attitudes will lead to action. Attitude, good attitude, you cannot stay. You cannot make yourself balanced. Attitude is something inside your mind. Attitude is the tendency to act. Have you heard of this? Attitude is your intention. If you have strong attitude, it means that you have strong attitude towards something and you have intention to do something. You have to put yourself into that situation. If you like someone, like is the starting point of attitude. If you like someone, what happened? If you like someone,
Heart's beating.
okay, you have to find out what's their name, right? If you don't know the person before, what's his name or her name? Okay, what she likes, what he likes. Okay, what's the phone number? What's the line? Something like that. Because you want to get close to the person. Like is the feelings. If you like someone, can you just keep it in your mind, in yourself? No or yes? Yes or no? Yes or no? Keep it secret, top secret. In your mind forever. And get so sad because another person don't like you at all. Well, if we have strong attitude toward products or something, we tend to get into close to that object, okay, or subject, whatever it is. And then it is the chemical imbalance in yourself. Believe me, this is very psychological thing. It's the chemical imbalance that you have to make yourself balance by release your strong attitude toward the person and give the action. Understand? You have to go read it. The professors, the top professors in this area, attitude, his name is Fishbein, Eisen, and many other people. They're in this area of attitude. So let me put some theories so you can apply a little bit. Okay. Because I think this is important. Marketers need to understand attitude. Because we want people to have positive attitude toward the product. First impression, I like the product, I like the store, I like this brand, I like the sales people. You see that before we buy, before we make a good connection, you have to feel it first. So if we take a look at the components of attitude, there are 3 components of attitude. First is cognitive component. Cognitive. Second, what? Second, affective. Third, cognitive. Cognitive component. Cognitive means knowledge. Cognitive. So, brand manager or marketing manager must give information, must give the information about the products or services, the attributes, whatever the benefits of the products to consumers. Do not expect them to know by themselves. Okay, so tell them, okay, brochures or blah blah blah. Okay, whatever that you can help them to get to know you. So cognitive, then they will get the awareness. So this is awareness, right? make them know. And then effective. Effective is the feelings, positive feelings. If this plus positive feelings, and once people get strong affection to something or someone, the cognitive is what? Cognitive. Intention. This will be the intention to buy or intention to do something. In other words, this is the tendency to act. Tendency to act. So this strong attitude, if we can digest, if we can analyze attitude, you will find that if we understand the components of attitude, then we will be able to forecast the future behavior. Because positive attitude will lead to the overt behavior in the future, sooner or later, when circumstances allow. Okay, this is the theory, attitude theory, and it is very interesting, extremely interesting. And everybody, before attitude can take place, marketer set up marketing mix strategies and design attitude. Design, well, can attitude be manipulated? Can attitude be manipulated? Or can control? Can we control attitude? If we are marketers? I think yes. Yes. Because marketers, brand manager has more power than we think. They can control behavior. Well, think about the good brand, famous brand. Those receive strong brand reputation. Okay. They can control people's behavior. Positive attitude leads to action. Okay. Action is the cognitive. Tendency to act is how we know. When people say, I will buy it. I will buy it. In the questionnaire, when you do research, consumer research, and if you want to capture, understand, or measure their attitude, you must ask some questions like, do you like it? Do you like it or not? I like it. How much? Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you say 5. Okay. I like it very, very much. Or I like it, okay. Okay. 3, okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. You can calculate attitude. It has formula. Attitude has formula to calculate it. So if you're interested, go read in attitude. Go read the work of this guy, Fishbein. Okay, I think Fishbein, Isaac. The theory of behavior, reason, action, those kind of things, those theories. So it is in the black box model. Okay. All right. So we can manipulate somehow. I think somehow. Don't let people just have the feelings without your management. This is why that we call CEM. What is CEM? Customer Experience Management Program. The Customer Experience Management Program. We manipulate, we manage experience of people. And once we manage the experience of people, we can manage their attitude somehow. We can make them like us. Okay? So we will have some examples later. Let's take a look at this. Okay. There's some words in this back box: perception, learning, motivation, personality, lifestyle, knowledge. When we want to understand lifestyle, how we know the people's lifestyle. How? I don't know your lifestyle, okay. But I think if I can set up the questionnaire, and if my questions, good questions enough, because I know the theory of lifestyle, then I think I can tell you what kind of persons you are. Lifestyle, personality. Lifestyles we can trace, we can measure lifestyle by asking 3 questions, 3 sets of questions, lifestyle. Have you heard of the word AIO? AIO data. Okay. There's something about psychographic. Psychographic, and we can have lifestyle, and then personality. Okay. And to measure lifestyle, we ask question, we ask A, I, O, we call AIO data. So AIO data, A stands for activities, I, interest, yes, O, opinions, very good. So, and this, what kind of activities you doing? Everyday activities, okay. Learning, working, what time that you get up, activities, blah blah blah. Okay, from morning till that you go to bed. Okay. Activities. Your interest. What kind of things that you interest? Are you interested in arts, in music, in if you read book, what kind of books do you read? Okay. Are you interested in take a trip somewhere? Why you go to the beach, and why you go to? I used to ask students, okay, undergraduate students, about how many of you want to go to Chiang Mai? How many of you want to go to Phuket? Okay. And okay, guess, can you guess? Lots of girls say that they go to Chiang Mai or Phuket. Okay, let me ask you this. Okay, let me do this kind of test. Okay, we are planning. Okay, we are planning go to north or south of Thailand. Okay, Chiang Mai or Phuket. Okay, raise your hands, please. How many of you want to go to Chiang Mai? Chiang Mai. Okay. I want someone to help me. Please help me. Count, yes. And count males, females. Okay. Males who want to go to Chiang Mai. Males who want to go to Chiang Mai. Males first. 4. Okay, 4 males want to go to Chiang Mai. 4. Okay. I will come back later. How many females want to go to Chiang Mai? Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12? 12, okay. 12. Now, how many of you, male, wants to go to Phuket, to the beach? To the beach. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8, okay. How many females want to go to the beach? Down south. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 equals. Okay. 8, right? and then but Chiang Mai, how many? 412. Okay, let me ask for those who raise your hands going to Chiang Mai for males, why you want to go to Chiang Mai? Tell me the first impression reason. Yes, yes.
I've been in the south.
Okay, good reason. Been to the south before, so you need go to a new place. Okay, we experienced that he went to the south before. Okay, I want to do more. You want to go to Chiang Mai? No, okay. Okay, you want to go to Chiang Mai? Why?
Cooler than here.
Colder. Colder, the temperature colder. You
From Japan.
from Japan, okay? Colder than Bangkok, right? Okay. One more, please. One more. Yes.
Greenery.
Greenery. You want to see mountains. Where are you from? India. Okay. Greenery, mountain, nature. Right, nature. Okay. 3 reasons, you see. 3 reasons from 3 persons. And I think if I ask 12, they could have come with 12 reasons. 12 motives. He went to the beach before, so he wants new experience. He wants new experience. This, he wants to get some cold weather, okay? And this, he likes green. He loves nature. So different motives. How about girls? Okay? You raise your hands, go to Chiang Mai, right? Why?
I like the mountain more than the beach.
You like mountains more than the beach.
Yeah.
So you sit next to him. You belong to the same group. Okay? Like mountains, he said he loves green, okay, nature. So you two have some kind of common interest. Okay. What else? Who else? Female ladies, you go to Chiang Mai. Why? It's raining right now, so you don't want to go to the beach. No. It's dangerous. Okay, so you feel that it's not secure. You want to feel safe. Going to, yes. Okay. One more reason. One more person. Yes. Anyone wants to go to Chiang Mai? No. Okay. Why?
I have friends in Chiang Mai.
You have friends in Chiang Mai. Good reason.
I don't have
You
to
have
pay.
friends in Chiang Mai. So she doesn't care about the greenery, or the nature, the culture. I want to see my friend. Okay. You see that even in the same classroom, and then you have the different, what? I think that you have some certain same group of 8, right? Same group of 8, and then maybe similar interests, but when mentioned about going to your activities, your interest about going to places, different. A-I-O. O. Now, about cricket. Let me get some answer because I want some comparison. Some guys who want to go to Phuket, please answer why.
Hot beaches.
Hot
Beaches.
beach,
Thale.
Kalei, okay. You like to see the beach
Yeah.
with the hot girls on the beach, okay? Okay, it's the beach, okay? The perception toward the beach is not just beach. It's a beach with women. Okay. What else? Okay. Some guys. Yes.
I like the sound of the wind. I like the
Wow.
sound.
Do you like the sound of the wave? Very romantic. Okay, very romantic. Are you married? That's so you. Okay, single. Okay, single. Okay. Okay. Now, let me ask one more guy going to Phuket. One more. Kamini. Yes?
I was born in South, so I'm familiar with the atmosphere there.
You come from the south, so you feel comfortable, go back to where you belong. Okay. What province are you from?
Surathani.
Surat Thani. Okay, very nice. Yeah, Surat Thani. I just went to Surat 2 weeks ago. Okay. You feel familiar, nostalgia, going back home to the south. Okay. For females, girls, okay. Recent go to Phuket. Anyone? Yes.
I like the beach there.
Why?
Because I read. For me personally, there are many parks and everything, but there's nothing there.
Are you sure?
I think it's more relaxing going to the
More relaxing. Okay. Feel more relaxing. Okay. Very interesting. So you see that the first answer probably we don't get the right answer, so I have to go and get deeper and deeper. Because this is the technique of laddering. Okay. Ladder means kanban. Laddering, when we get laddering more and more, we will get some kind of deep. It's the idea, it's the big idea. It's the big idea that it gives you the reason, true reason. Okay? Not artificial reason. Okay? So I think it's very interesting because that from undergraduate students, female, when I asked them, when I did some kind of laddering, okay, most of them want to go to Phuket, not Chiang Mai. Reason for them, the ultimate, you know what? The ultimate answer is because they want to wear swimming suit. They want to wear swimming suit, not just for them to see, but for guys to see them. Yes, this is true. So this is very interesting. And for guys that they want to go to Chiang Mai, most of them come up with your reason that because it's cold, they like to get to stay in some kind of cold weather. Actually, it's not that cold, it's cool, maybe it's cool weather. So they will feel good. And today in Bangkok it's very hot, right? It is quite hot outside. And so people feel it's kind of muggy and not feel comfortable. So cool weather makes people feel more relaxed. Okay. So people have some kind of hidden needs, hidden reasons inside. So through consumer research, through questions, then we know. You know, interestingly, my students they just came in and out because then I just get my research published in this book, in this journal, Dragon Business Review, and I put it in English. So the title, Colors and Intensities Combination on Purchasing Intention in Relaxing Services, a virtual reality experimental research. Virtual reality. So this is a long experimental research. Okay, it's true experiment. And you can read. I have two colors. Okay, green and blue. Green and blue. Okay, so you can green and blue like this. And I put what we call chroma. You know chroma, what it is? chroma is like the intensity of color. สีเข้มสีอ่อน so the chroma is like light green, light blue, dark green, dark blue, something like that. Okay, and then I make some combination. Because green and blue, they are perceived to be the color for its cool color. It's cool color. Before I come up with green and blue, I ask my subjects, okay, that they did the experiment with me last year. I asked my subject from 7 colors, choose 2 colors. 2 colors that make you feel relaxed, okay, feel relaxed, okay. So they choose green and blue. But this is not enough, okay, I want to do more. So I put chroma into the color. And I use the camera, VR camera, okay. The students, I borrow the VR camera, 10 VR cameras from Samsung, and it's very expensive. So I borrow from them, and then I got subjects, 180. I think 180, yes. And then I asked students to put on camera. And then I asked the artist, okay? I asked the artist to draw the rooms for me. So this is the room. 6 rooms, okay? The combinations, the number is 6 rooms. Light green, light blue, light green, dark blue, light green, dark green, something like that. And make all the combination, complete combination. And then I asked students, 180 of them, okay, and put on the camera, and then they will feel that it's very nice. The virtual camera, it's made you feel like you stay in the room. In the room. It's like that you stay outside at the door, and then you look inside the room. And then you see the color, and then I control all other variables. Okay, just the color of the room change, okay, one by one, and then they put off the camera, they answer the questionnaire, they put on the camera, and then they take a look again. So they click the picture. So there are 6 treatments. So 6 treatments, and then when they finish, they answer all the questions and put the number. And then they make decision which room that they want to get into and have the spa service. Okay, this is spa service. Then, okay, when I finish all 180 students, I wait for another 2 months. Okay, and then I ask them to come back again and put on the same camera, and this is test, retest, because I want to find out the reliability of their answers. So phase 1 finished, and phase 2, and then I compare the answers. Which color that they like most, that they think that they will have intention, see, cognitive, intention, cognitive, intention to use the service. Number 1, light blue, and there are two walls, okay, light blue and white. There are 2 walls. This is the room that they choose most. Light blue and dark blue. Comes number 1, blue. Light blue and dark blue. So you can read through, and then I have some kind of test, and it comes with a significant number in terms of statistics also. How about green? Before we did the experiment, I thought green. But people have different perceptions The color green and the color blue, they have different perception. This is very interesting. What do you feel towards green? Because that you mentioned that beach, okay, beach make you feel more relaxed, right? More relaxed. It's bigger, it's wider, more relaxed. Green, they perceive green that it's a nice color, but green's more related to environment, not relaxation. Not relaxation, not relaxing. Green is not relaxing color. So it's related to environment. Jungle, forest, but blue, because that I said relaxing service. So relaxing service, they go for blue. It doesn't matter the chroma. The chroma, pale blue and dark blue, as long as it's blue. So we come up with this conclusion that color is more important than chroma. So you have to choose the right color when you set up the spa or your coffee shops or whatever, your service place. So very interesting. The theory of color is very interesting. I have no idea before. 2 years ago, I have no idea that I would do this experiment. I asked Dr. Jake to do this experiment with me. He always work research with me together. And so we presented this paper into 2 countries. The first phase one. Phase one, we did a presentation at Dubai. We went to Dubai and made presentation, and a lot of people interested they want to know the blah blah blah. Okay, but we have to wait for 2 months, coming back to Thailand, wait for 2 months, and call the same students to do the same experiment again. So 2 phases. And then the second phase is finished, we all there. We analyzed the data, and then we went to Oxford to make presentation at Oxford University last year. And then came back, and then write up the papers, and then submitted, and then get published. So just only 2 weeks ago, I think about 2 or 3 weeks ago, this came out. So you're welcome to take a look if you like. Okay. We have in the library as well. I would be pleased that if someone read my research. Normally just only me and Jane read it. Right. So, okay. AIO. We can have some kind of measurement and ask the right questions. Laddering, and you will get the big reason, the real reason. So this is very interesting consumer behavior thing. Okay. Now, what else that you want me to explain more? You understand motivation, learning, perception? Perception is another big word. Perception. What is perception? Perception is different from learning. Perception is different from attitudes. When we perceive things, for example, you have negative attitude toward going to, you have negative, well, seems that to me you have negative attitude toward going to the forest, because that you said you're afraid of bugs, okay, the insects, snakes, those kind of things, okay? This is, I don't know, is your attitude or your perception? Because it has these 2 latent constructs, they are different. So what is perception? Perceptions. Attitude is the feelings, is the opinions. Yes, Gwen? Perception, Perception is the way we interpret things. Perception. When we see things, we hear, we smell, we taste, we touch through our 5 sensory organs. We interpret what we hear, what we smell, what we taste, what we touch, what we see. We interpret. How we interpret? We interpret according to our background of life. Everyone has background of life. Okay, you born in France. I was born in Bangkok. Okay, you from India, you from Japan, right? Okay, you from?
South Korea.
You from Korea, okay? That's different. Today I just explained to my student, I went to visit Samsung Customer Service Center. And then I was very surprised that they showed all the products in the museum. And it's a big refrigerator. But it's different refrigerator that we use in our homes. It's the refrigerator that Korean people use for keep kimchi. Only kimchi.
Right.
Only kimchi in that big refrigerator.
It's true.
It's true.
Yeah.
Yes, I never see. I'm also surprised because I thought that you put kimchi in the box or something, in the jar, and then that could be okay. And then when you finish, and then you go and buy the new bottle. Why you have to put a lot of kimchi? Only kimchi in refrigerator. It's a big refrigerator, and when you open it, it's just empty. Nothing else. Why not you go and buy kimchi often? So you don't need to buy refrigerator to keep kimchi. You understand? You understand? Yeah. The other students understand my questions? Yeah, because in terms of marketing, this is your culture to eat kimchi. Thai people, we eat what we eat? What we eat? Well, example, coastal kimchi. No. Kimchi is like a paste. We eat paste too, but we don't buy refrigerator to keep the whole paste in the refrigerator. But this is refrigerator just for kimchi only. My question is, why don't you go out and buy kimchi in bottle when you finish it?
Oh, actually, it's related with the weather.
Related to weather.
Weather. Actually, in Thai, weather is so hot, so everything get decayed very easily. But in Korea, it's very cold, so and then they're only in Thailand. They can harvest whole of the year, 4 times through a year. But we have only once, so we have to harvest.
You
and then
cannot
keep-
grow vegetable all year round.
Only one chance in the year.
Okay, I
That's
got
why.
it. Yeah, thank you. But of course that in your meat shops, in your grocery, you can go out and buy kimchi more often. Like we buy fish sauce, we buy some sauce. Okay, we don't need to keep the whole jar to keep fish sauce. So the way that people in different countries stock their products is different. See, this is very interesting. So the product design, the attributes, blah, 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 all kind of things. That's the perception. When we look at things, we interpret things. Okay? You interpret things. I interpret things according to my background. So we have different background. So this is why we must try to identify the target group that have the similar background, similar interest, similar culture, similar knowledge. So this is the idea of getting to understand consumer behavior. Okay, so I think that I should finish the black box by now. And this before you go and have a break. Have you seen this before? No? Bread, no? This is the complex decision making. When you go out, well, when you want to make decision to buy house, car, or something expensive, something that it has some kind of risk involved, then you go through complex decision-making process. It must be 5 steps. Must be. And think of yourself, the time that you plan to buy something more expensive. You know what? I'm planning to buy this, I'm serious. Maybe tomorrow I will go to this shop again. Right now I have problems with my eyes at night. When I look at the computer, and then I have to stay very close, and then I know something, I have 2 eyeglasses. I don't have progressive eyeglass, but well, just some weeks ago, I walked past by one shop at the AIA building near Stock Exchange of Thailand. And this shop is called iSoptics. And I have heard this name for a long time, that iSoptics is the place that they sell very expensive eyeglass, maybe the most expensive eyeglass, because of the technology. They use German technology to measure the eyesight. So I don't know how, okay? But I just read from the newspaper many years. And then, well, so I walked past by the shop, so I made a decision, I just want to know. I just want to know why it is expensive. So I asked the shoppers, okay, which one is the most expensive eyeglasses in your shops? So they take me and show me to, this is special. And I looked through, and when I saw the price, it's very, it's an eyeglass, okay? It's just and no lens, okay? No lens, without lens. About 1 million, 1.5 million something. Yes. What? This is the most expensive, just the eyeglass, not lens, okay? Not measurement, anything. Okay, yes. Okay. I don't know if they have customers or not, but during the time that I talk, well, there are some customers come in and out. They have permanent customers. And then, well, the owners of the shop came, and then he explained something to me. And he said that something about the measurement. So I want to do some kind of measurement. And he said, well, and he looked at me, he said that today you look tired. We will not measure your eyes because it will not have precision. I want to be accurate and more precision. And he asked me, what time did you go to bed last night? I said 3 o'clock. He said that, okay, we cannot do anything. You come, you can see the price, okay, but of course that there are some regular price. Regular price is very nice. I think that well, maybe I could afford, thinking about the progressive lens and help me to read easier at night. So it's about close to 30,000 baht. So I think that I could afford. Okay, if give me some better eyesight at night, then I don't have to just get closer to my computer. So this kind of thing, I think that okay, about 30,000 maybe I could pay. So tomorrow I probably go and, but he said that don't come to us if you don't have good rest. Okay? You have to go and sleep well, and then we can make decision. We can make appointment with him later. So this is some kind of, I think that well, it's kind of interesting philosophy having to do business, because he said that precision is the key. And his eyeglass, he makes guarantee, I think 3 years guarantee. So fix it free, and if you have problems, things like that. So I make some calculation. This one is close to, well, this one is expensive too, but I have to put 2 classes. So this some kind of things that after information search, tomorrow I will go do the search again, okay? Information search from the store or from the experience, from the salespeople, evaluation of alternative. We make some kind of evaluation, and it's very interesting, this step, because people, if you are so scientific, you must put a lot of numbers in your decision making. Have you? Have you ever had some kind of, you cannot make decision about alternative 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you assign the number in different factors and sum up, okay, using some simple calculation. Did you do it? Yeah, if you do it, yes, you do evaluation alternative. And this is very interesting. I like this part because that when I studied consumer behavior back then, well, I have to study a lot of models: lexicographic model, conjunctive model, disjunctive model, and some combination models to come up with this is the very scientific way to evaluate alternatives that you have for the better decision. The best decision will be here, purchase. Okay, step number 4. But it's not that it. When you go through complex decision making, the last step you call post-purchase behavior. Post-purchase behavior, people evaluate themselves, not the product, okay? Because they already purchase it. Now they evaluate their own behavior, usage behavior, and then they come up with the questions: do I like it? Do this fit my expectation? This product, service fits my expectation or not? There will be only 2 answers. 1, satisfaction. 2, very disappointed. And disappointment because of something wrong happened in your decision making. This step to make some wrong decision, it makes you feel so bad about yourself. And we have the word called, this is technical term in consumer behavior, we call cognitive dissonance. Cognitive dissonance. Okay. So the meaning of cognitive dissonance is people feel so bad about themselves that they make wrong decisions. For example, you want to take going to some program, okay, like MBA, MS Marketing, MMM, or whatever, okay, and then you make decision based on your information, you search, and then you evaluate, and then you make decision. Okay, I will get this program. Okay, you travel, go and travel from a long way to Thailand. And then if Thailand could not fit to your expectation, you feel bad. You will feel very bad. And then you will think of the other choices that you did not choose. For example, you can choose go to Singapore, to China, to Malaysia, to Thailand. And then you make decision comes to Thailand. But let's assume that Thailand could not, live up with your expectation. You feel bad. You feel, oh my God, I spent 1 year. You have to stay here 1 year, or 1 semester. Yeah, 1 semester. Instead of going to Malaysia or go to Singapore, I go to Thailand. Okay, and it's very hot and very humid and very traffic and blah blah blah. Okay, and then you think of the choices that you don't make. This is cognitive dissonance. But the situation 1 month is okay, 1 semester is okay. The situation that people, for example, work wrong kind of jobs, okay, or want to buy a house and then that house you don't live very happily in that house because a lot of problems going on. So this cognitive dissonance. The question, marketers must find ways to reduce the cognitive dissonance or prevent it before it happens. How? Okay. How to prevent, how to protect, reduce the feelings, the bad feelings of people. Give them long-term guarantee. Buy back or return the product. Okay. Change the product. Okay. Some certain stores, they have these good policies and make us feel better, right? But if something happens, bad happens, then we can exchange to get something new products, which is good. I tell you this true story. You know Mandarin Oriental in Thailand? This is one of the best hotel, one of the best, over 100 years old. It's very nice hotel, very best service. Okay. People say best service. Okay. It's one of the top hotels in the world, of course. And then someone in the hotel, his director, he was director, he told me this story. It was a true story that one day there was the guest, VIP guest, VVIP guest, very, very important person. I don't know who he did not say the name. She sent her beautiful gown, beautiful dress, evening gown for the dry cleaning. Okay. This hotel has very famous dry cleaning store. Okay. And she said that in the next 2 days I will wear this, and then I will have a big party, so I will wear this. So she sent it to dry clean. I don't know why. Or maybe iron it. Okay. And something wrong happened that people in the dry cleaning store ironed her clothes, and made it damaged. This is very big. This is big and damaged the reputation of the hotel. So how they fix the problem? If you were a hotel manager, how?
Apologize and get a better one.
Apologize and get the better one. Better dress. She will wear it in next 2 days. You apologize to her right away or what?
Right away, tell the situation, get the one that is even better, or let she choose the better options.
Good. But we have to think carefully, very carefully. This is crisis, and it could damage the reputation of the hotel. So, this is big issue. You say that, tell her right away, and say that the hotel will find you the better dress, and promise that she will wear it in next 2 days. Yeah, someone raise your hands.
Yeah, I think I would get the same one, like the same dress.
Get the same dress.
And apologize, of course, and then like do other things to make the person feel better, to like give something for the apologize because she now needs to wait for the dress until
Okay,
they have it.
very good. So you get different dress, better one, better in your own ideas. We have to understand women. We VIP women. Okay, maybe she's a princess, maybe we don't know. Okay, so, but My concern is the timing of apologize. You know what the hotel did? I think they make very fast decision. They ordered the same dress, the same size, everything, and made apologize, of course, by the top management of the hotel. But the apologize come with the new dress. Okay. Because if you go and apologize before she saw the new dress, and you say, oh, I'm sorry, I ruined your beautiful dress, and I will buy it for you later. I don't think that it will reduce her cognitive dissonance much. She will feel mad. Yeah.
But if she would ask before, like if she can, like if she needs a dress and you are not able to get the dress like in the next day or immediately because you have to order it, or it's from I don't know a store and it's not available in the size. Like what do you recommend to do in the meantime?
Yeah, good point. But the hotel made decision that too. Well, they have the I don't know what super something that they could carry the dress within 24 hours. And then she did not know what happened. Okay, and then the next day that they received the new dress, the top management, the CEO, I think, he's from Germany, Mr. Schwarzleit, remember his name, and then he went to the room, upgrade her room. They upgrade her room with the letter apologize and beautiful flowers, and then what? The new dress, which she doesn't know what happened to the old one. Okay, but when she see everything, it's like it comes with the complete package, and then she would not feel cognitive dissonance at all. So, 5-star hotels, okay, big hotels in the world, they're supposed to do something like this. They will give authority to manager, to lower level management, to make decisions, and authority to buy, okay, to buy the new dress, and did not have to go through step 1, 2, 3, 4 for the approval. Okay. So this is the way that the companies reduce or try to prevent, okay, the image. Okay, let's have a break and then we can come back and then we do the workshop.
Okay.